It looks like we are a small group today, and but you never know, someone might join. And today, I thought we could talk about, in a large way, meaning, take it wherever you want, how we feel about the seasons, the changing of the seasons, and that could be taken anyway. Like, the seasons of your life, like, what part of your life that you're in, thinking of it as a season, which is kind of what I feel like I'm feeling these days. Or you could think about, had you had any thoughts on the changing of the climate or the seasons where you live? And then, of course, there's always what we're not going to talk about, which is politics, but the season of the political climate. So, and so I've been thinking about both the season of my life, because I've made a big change, but now it's been 2 years, and how I've had some ups and downs, and things that I found I'm not happy about. And then I have to think to myself, well, is that something that I'm holding on to, and whether or not I need to investigate how I feel about it, and then work through it in that way, and then just drop it off at the lake, and leave it there. So, and then I think about the climate, which I love. Now, see, I thought, I don't like it here. I don't like the summer. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the summer, but now it's cold, and now I'm feeling happier. So this season, the temperature, well, I'm hoping is going to change how I've been feeling otherwise. Anyway, I'm going to open it up to whoever would like to speak to this and share what their thoughts are. Be wild, go for it, So, anybody? What does it bring up for you? Change of seasons. Louis Therese, welcome. Oh, we can't hear you, honey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
First of all, I think you must be more kind towards yourself and not only give you a time period, because it sounds like it is a major change that you went through and that you are changing into. So you must give a time, a chance to make new happenings for you and make new things for you. You can't just step into it. And I can understand, because you always want to bring the past back because that is what you are comfortable with. But take from the past, let it strengthen you, and use it for new experience. And be more kind towards yourself. Spoil yourself a little bit more. And I feel you're very hard on yourself.
Good point. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I like that too.
What about do you have any thoughts on the topic of changing seasons at all, Louis Therese?
Yes, I do. It is for me extremely important to be in a place where there is seasons, because I need to see how the leaves are coloring and how they prepare to fall off and how the trees go into rest and everything. And then winter, it is to me a part of nature's life cycle. And I feel if you understand the cycle of nature, you actually understand life. And yeah, for me, season is extremely important. And we do tend to go towards one season more than the other. And uh, seasons, some people can't handle changes. They like the tropical weather all over. But life is changes and seasons, just like nature.
Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to say too. And so thank you so much, Flutrice. Barbara, did you have something to say?
I did, although to be honest with you, I don't quite remember what it was, but part of it was, yeah, I loved what you said, Louis Trace. And yeah, I agree that there's nothing, I think the only constant is change, they say, and so yeah, just going with it and knowing that if you have unhappy moments or some things that are really unhappy, maybe they'll just change out, even out, and you can continue the flow with it. But let's see what Renee has to say.
Hi, Renee, welcome. We don't see you. Are you not coming on camera today? And if you're talking, we can't hear you. Oh. Who was that?
I think that was Renee. We can hear you now, Renee, but can you try to speak again? Well, maybe while Renee's trying to figure that out, we can just say welcome to everybody.
You just butt in, Renee, when we.
Yeah. Chelsea is off doing a reconnective healing event in Toronto and can't be with us, but she'll probably be back next week. And Mary had some other little last minute things that came up. Oh, Louis Trace, it looks like you want to add something.
Yes, may I? Okay. Am I mute?
Yes, please. You're good to go.
I would love to share with your ladies and with, something that happens to me last week, actually this week. And it was the most amazing thing. I was traveling through the Karoo and the Klein Karoo and everything, and I do get to this one tree. I call it my English tree because he is speaking English. Now, I have done a lot of trees, and as I stopped there, I was kind of despondent, and my level of everything was low. And as I was getting out of the car, I experienced the most wonderful warmth of that tree as it was flowing over me, holding me, penetrating me, rejuvenating me. I was in shock. I really burst out in tears. It was such an amazing experience. I always give. I never thought really, I always say, go towards a tree. And I thought you have to be kind of contact. I never thought it could be like that. So yeah, that I would love to share. And like you said.
Thank you for that share. That was really wonderful. And I want it to happen to me now. So,
Go hug a tree.
I've got a couple out. I got my tree in the backyard. I'm gonna go out to that tree today. So
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally connecting with nature.
Yeah.
Connecting with
Yeah,
trees.
that's really, yeah. I did have I took Jesse for a walk this morning, morning walk and early, and it was cold and I was like all wrapped up. It's been the first time since, summer, but it had rained last night. And I was wearing my hiking boots, not tennis shoes, but they're like boots. And all of a sudden I could feel myself, I was having a hard time walking. My right foot kept sticking. I realized that I had this much mud stuck to the bottom of my boots. And it went on, I couldn't, and I was really hard to get off, but then when I finally got it off, it was like a huge clump, like you would look like a hoof, and why did I bring this up? I can't read.
Need to walk in nature.
Yeah. So I just, anyway, it was just, I thought, okay, if it ever rains and I want to walk there, I'm not going to do it because it was like, it wasn't even a minute before I had to, again, get it off my feet. But Jessie had a really good time, you know, because I don't put the muzzle on her when I go there because there's nobody there. And if there is, they're not close. So anyway, that's my share. But I said it's like having hiking boots, heels, buy hiking boots with heels, high heels, or a platform. Anyway.
Well, I just love the way that you were smiling and laughing when you were sharing that story. So just kind of hold on to that and just kind of,
Story, as my niece would say.
yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
here's Billy saying hello. Good morning.
Hi, Willie.
Say hi. The big
I'll
mouth.
show you my kitty cats.
Okay. Oh, plural. Oh, pretty. Nice. Good beauty.
But I always come when we are doing the talk.
Yeah.
I think they love the energy.
Yeah, I think that also Billy
Yeah.
was before, and now he's here close to me. And is that right? Will, okay. Oh, where'd Gino go?
He may have gone to get his cat too, perhaps. Yeah.
I don't have a cat or a dog or
Okay.
a home companion of sorts, but I do have Jack. I don't know. Can you see Jack?
Yeah, well, kind of.
Kind of.
What is that?
How can I not? I can't see that. Oh, here we are. So
Oh,
Jack has a hat.
oh, that's funny.
I don't get it.
Jack?
Anyway, that's Jack. He's my only friend here at the house.
Uh,
For me, the seasons of life. Well, you know, I'm 74 now, and a lot of changes have happened to me physically in the last 2 years. I've done very well up until then. I mean, it wasn't flawless, but nothing that would slow me down or change um, my joy or any of those things. The last 2 years have been a lot. And so I started, you know, pulling out the stops. You know, in addition to reconnected healing, which has been wonderful, other spiritual people and so forth. I started working with a group called Joe Ray, and they suggest that, you know, when you have illnesses, whether you're, you know, 15 or 74, that these are purifications. So these are things that your body needs to release, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally. It might be your past, whatever, something you haven't resolved. Because I kept thinking, I've done so much work on myself. How come I have all these things? And now they're telling me that maybe there's stuff I haven't done yet. And I thought, well, that is quite possible. I am very open to that, for those, to look at those purifications. There might be something I'm missing. And of course, I also subscribe to that when you have challenges, that there's something to learn there. And I always have learned something from my challenges. Right now, I feel in a space that there will be a time not too far down the line where I have circumvented a lot of these things, especially a couple of big things that are really holding me back at the moment. So it was probably about 3 months ago, I had a very, very close friend of 40 years who contracted cancer, had the radiation and all of this stuff. And I decided to light a candle and just, you know, send him energy and so forth to heal. Well, gradually that's increased, where now I'm doing what I call candle conversations. But this is for lots of different people I know. So last night I encircled the world and brought up each person and talked out loud to them and told them, you know, how I felt about them, that I loved them, that I wished them well, that I knew they had issues and I wanted them to heal and so forth. And some closer people to me here in San Diego as well, that are more in my age group. And I'm finding that in doing that, that also when you are reaching out to people and trying to help them, whether it's in person or from afar, that I think, have all felt the healing of that. So if you're giving, I think that also increases the chances of completing this purification process and overcoming it. And so this is more or less a whole new thing for me to do it so much. I already have subjects for tonight's candle conversations, right? And it's really empowering to do that. So that's what I'm doing in this new season of life. And I also feel there's so much more to come. I've always felt that way. And I can't imagine at this point in my life not overcoming these lack of purification and not being able to do anything I want to do. I have too much of a spirit for that to be so. And I've taken care of myself too well, practically, for that to be so. So that's what I'm thinking of season of life right now.
I love it. That was just so great. And just tell me what the candle, say that again, the candle, what is it?
Oh, I made it up myself. It's called Candle Conversations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And that's
because I'm literally speaking out loud while I'm doing this.
okay. That's really cool. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. And
And-
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
Julie.
no, Barbara, go
I thought you
ahead.
were done. Go ahead.
I thought I was too. Go.
Well, it's just another way to connect, and just reach out and I guess acknowledge our unity, as one. And I like that. That's a beautiful practice, so thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And I also liked what you said about, I don't know, I think I put it in the chat, not in here, but something about looking forward to what is ahead, because that's also what I had thought, another aspect of it, you could be looking at what, in a positive way,
Sure.
in a excited way, knowing, you know what I mean, that something's going to happen and there's it's not a okay, to forget my words. It's an expectation, not expected, but expectation. I guess that's what I want to say.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Barbara.
Yeah, and regarding like all the physical ailments that arise as we get older, and for some people even when they're younger, but I can totally relate to what you're saying, Gino, and I was thinking about that as I was listening to you. And to me, it's almost like that's part of this physicality of us, as we are mass and energy kind of compacted. It's like there's always something, and maybe as we get older, it tends to be a little bit more. But to me, it's like there's always going to be something, and when I'm totally healed from in this physical being, it will probably be time for me to step off the planet and then maybe step into a new physicality or something. But that's just I think part of our life is that there's something.
Yeah, and I also think that a lot of people more or less force it upon themselves mentally. Well, because they'll say, well, after all, I'm aging, or after all, I'm this age, so of course that's going to happen. And I think it caves too much and making it happen even more. So one doesn't have to live that way, and
That's
I've
kind of
never lived that way, no matter what.
That's kind of a focus on something that you don't want, but when you focus on it, you get it,
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Also, I like that the reminder that for me, that you look at things that happen in your life that maybe aren't what you would like them to be, or you have an issue or something, that it's a learning, or to investigate it, to see, you know, to heal yourself, to figure
Mhm.
it out, you know. uh, Not always easy, but you know.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one last thing, I mean, the thing is that, if you see yourself as a learner, which I do, there's always something to learn. And I don't care how old I am and how wise I think I am. I don't have the long beard. I don't have the long beard like my friend here. But there's more to go. A lot more. I don't know. I don't think the whole universe is out there. I don't know any of it. So, I just allow it to come.
Poor Renee.
Yeah, and that acceptance of whatever does come,
Yeah.
you know. And speaking of acceptance, poor Renee, it seems like she's
I
struggling.
know, I just admitted her again.
Right, yeah.
Going, we'll see, let's see.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, it's already, look at the time, goes so
Oh,
fast.
yeah. Well, time flies when you're having fun. So yeah, it's funny. I used to hate autumn when I was younger because I hated winter. And then when spring was my favorite because then that meant summer was coming. And then summer was actually my second favorite because it was after spring. Spring was the start of something new. And I would look at the leaves on the tree and the buds and just feel the energy that was popping out of them. And it just felt so vibrant to me.
Mhm.
And now, though, I'm at a place where I actually enjoy autumn. I love the colors and the freshness of the air. It's a little brisk, but it's just so fresh, even though it has like a smell of decay. But there's something that's nice about that. I mean, it's I guess a reminder of the rebirth that that you were talking about earlier, this cycle, and it continues on. So yeah, I've actually changed my attitude about seasons as I've gotten older.
Well, growing up in Los Angeles, or even, I don't know, San Diego, I'm not sure how it is, but you don't really get a change of seasons. That's why living here, I love that it's a change of seasons. I mean, it's really, you really get to experience that. It's just the summers for me are so hot. So that's why I say
Mhm.
I don't like the summers, but I always wanted some kind of sort of really definitive change in LA, like like when we moved here, I heard they were getting all this rain and it was really cold. And I thought, oh my God, I had to move, and then it changed, but anyway, so
Yeah.
I
Well, I
did.
mean, if you want drastic change, for the first 25 years of my life, I grew up in upstate New York in the snow
Oh,
belt, and I was a master shoveler, drifts, whatever you want, because we lived in the country outside of the small city that we were, Syracuse. Um, but yes, I could appreciate the change in season. It was morning, MOURNING time when the snow was coming, but the fall was gorgeous. The spring was amazing. And we had tulips and flowers that would just magically come out of the ground. Are you kidding me? We had the sacrificial tulips first. They'd come up, and then the snow would come down and destroy them. And then we would have the second one, and we knew no more snow was coming. So yeah, it was wonderful to see those changes. I don't want to go there again, but yeah.
Well, you got to experience it already, so
Yeah. Uh, I'm
yeah.
talking a lot, and I see Renee is back.
Well, I'm not sure she is, because Renee, if you can hear us, you need to unmute so we can say hello and everything. She's having a problem.
Yeah.
Louis Trace, it looks like you want to say something.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, she's just going to listen today. Okay. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, now?
Yes.
Not. Okay. I want to tell you my biggest shock of my life I receive when I visit my children and grandchildren in Canada during winter time. Now in South Africa, when it is winter, our houses is all built, but we have a sunroom, and in the afternoon we all go and have a tea and coffee there and sit in the sun like Kentuckies, you know. So that day I went and I sit in the sun and I close my eyes, waiting for the sun to warm my body, and I open it and I say, wait, I'm not in the sun, there's nothing. It was the biggest shock of my life to realize there is sunlight and it doesn't warm you. I was so shocked. I even thought today I'm shocked about that, because to me, sunlight is warmth.
Oh, was the temperature outside? What was the temperature outside?
Oh, the temperature, it's always like that. The sunlight doesn't really warm you as here in South Africa. You know, it really kind of bake you nicely, a nice way. And there is the light, sunlight is there, the light is there, but the heat of the sun is not there, you know. And
Yeah.
that was quite shocking for me, always to experience that when I go to Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, unlike here, it's you feel the heat with the sun.
It's like that in Central Oregon too. It's high desert.
Yeah.
And over in Portland, it's gloomy and damp. And then you go over the mountains and it's high desert and it could be cold, but the sun is very bright over there. And yeah, I lived there in the winter a few times and you're right. That sun is glorious. And it doesn't feel as cold,
Mm.
even though they're still on the ground. It doesn't feel as cold with that bright sun. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a minute, you guys. So any last shares? Let's see. Is this a new link today? Cannot open the video audio. That's what.
Nope, it's the same link, Renee, as what we've always had, so I don't know what's going on. But now hopefully by next week it'll have fixed itself, or your
Yeah. All right. Well,
Mm.
Renee, I'm sorry we couldn't see you today and have you share if you wanted to, but next week. And I guess I'm signing off. We're signing off. It's 11:30. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to, make any comments on YouTube and what else I always forget to say, Barbara.
Oh, just make sure you like us and you can subscribe.
Right.
Thanks for joining us, Deanna.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Rest of the week.
Oh, we finally see you, Renee. I'm gonna
Oh,
put that,
Renee. Hi.